We're gonna finish the week off with a massive arm pump. We're gonna hit biceps, triceps separately. We're gonna start with biceps. And then we're gonna work on some forearms today, just really targeting the forearms along with our bicep training and then finishing with triceps. First bicep movement here, I'm just standing behind a incline bench. You can use just a regular preacher curl actual setup. I don't have the standing pad, so this works perfectly fine. So what I'm doing is a single arm dumbbell preacher curl. I'm letting that weight down so I get a full stretch, meaning I'm not stopping here and half repping. I'm getting a full stretch and I'm wanting to squeeze starting from the bottom, not just squeezing here at the top. I want to squeeze starting from here through my bicep, turn that wrist over and squeeze. Turning that wrist over at the top is extremely important to get a full contraction of the bicep. So these are actually going to be drop sets. So that means you're going to start with a heavier weight. And when we're doing a drop set, when we're working our arms individually, we're not switching arms here. We're staying with the same arm, just dropping down to a lower weight and hitting more reps. So it's going to allow us to work heavier weight in while still working in a ton of volume. And I love these drop sets on these preacher curls. I can just get a crazy, crazy pump going. Really focus on controlling that weight down, feeling that bicep stretch, mentally focusing on squeezing it back up. So hit your drop set on your right side, then move on to the left side. Put that down just in case it falls. All right, onto the cables. So this is where we're gonna introduce some forearms. And you're gonna hate and love me at the same time here. Your forearms are gonna light up. So I'm gonna plan out quite a few sets for us here, but if you get burnout, then you might have to remove the forearm part out of it at least. So what we're gonna do is I just have straight bar cable attachment here, and we're gonna start with an overhand grip. My elbows are here by my side, where I would normally start with a bicep curl, and it's just like if we were gonna do an overhand curl like this, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop halfway, so we have all that tension on our forearms already. And then here's what we're doing. We're twisting that bar. Just alternating, putting all that, you see all that movement in my forearm, all that blood's being forced into that forearm. It's hurting, it's lighting up. And then after you hit this for 20 seconds, stretch, bulk, you'll get to go a little shorter, maybe. Then you're gonna turn over to a underhand grip, traditional grip here. Elbows are in the same place. And now into your curls. So that's when I said you might hate me, because if your forearms were already on fire, they're not gonna feel a whole of a hell lot better right now. So turn that wrist over, squeeze that bicep, control it on the way down. Chest is staying up. I'm not getting over it, doing this or swinging it up. Chest is here, rest of the body's quiet, supporting as we isolate those biceps. So good news is, we're done. Bad news is, you're already blown up for sure. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to triceps. I love this setup because I'm gonna do two different backhanded movements for the tricep to really emphasize that squeeze, but we're gonna be able to leave the arm here and work two different angles, and here's how. So the first angle we're gonna work is a backhanded push down. So normal push down would be like this. Now we're gonna hold it with our palm facing towards our body to start. Our chest is still up. Our elbow is here like when we were doing our curls, not directly by our side, slightly forward here. And then what I'm doing is just, as I said with the bicep, we don't want to just squeeze at the end of the movement. We want to start squeezing from here all the way through the movement. Mentally focusing on right there, squeezing that back and down. And then after you hit your reps here, now you're just stepping forward and doing the exact same motion. Elbows here in front of me by my side. This isn't an overhead. This is more, I gotta even figure out what I'm gonna call this in the caption. But you're extending over, it's like a skull crusher on the cable basically then. Backhand, turn that wrist over and squeeze. That little extra action of turning those knuckles and squeezing can help you get a better contraction there in your tricep. One last movement. We just hit that superset, but I felt like our triceps had a little bit more in us, or at least we're gonna try. All right, so in these, I got weight I can control. You can always go up and wait. Check your ego at the door. Want to make sure we're using weight we can use really good form with and protect our elbows here. So we're going to do a skull crusher with the dumbbells instead of a barbell or an easy bar. The way that we're going to do that is I'm going to add in some little wrist twists here. So when we're here, we'll finish with an overhand. So it goes back into a hammer, squeezing up, turning those wrists. So my pinkies are turning out and away from each other, like when you're doing a rope push down split, like that. Same thing. So full stretch there in the back of that tricep, getting a really good stretch, and then squeezing from here, turning those pinkies out, getting a rhythm, staying in control, letting those triceps start to shake and light up. Get some really good work done here. All right, so I'm keeping the 60 minutes going strong on you. I just love what it's doing. That extra 20 minutes is really paying off, so we're gonna stick with it. I'm gonna throw a little mix in too. Let's go 10 minutes of high exertion just right out of the gate to get our heart rate real high. And then let's go 50 minutes of medium to low right after. Have a good workout.